Hi everyone! Today we will be covering how to use Python for finance and financial planning and analysis from an absolute beginner level. Stay until the end of this video because you will learn how to do data visualizations, Monte Carlo simulations, and forecasting all with Python. My name is Christian Martinez and let's start. So this is your beginner's guide on how to use Python for finance. Now, I will be giving you these files so that you can follow along. Download them in the description of this video. Now, the very first thing that you need to know is that in order to use Python, we will be using Google Colab, which is this tool that I have in the screen. It's like Google Docs, but for programming. No installation needed, and just 1 minute to set up. And I will be walking you exactly how to do it. Now, the very first thing is that you need to go to this website, colab.research.google. Once that you go to this website, then this window will appear. For you, you most probably not have any files in here. I have some because I have used Google Colab recently. Now, in here, I want you to go and click plus new notebook in the bottom left. And when you click on that, then it will open a new file. That, in this case, we call it notebooks. Now, the main thing that you need to understand is that you will be adding Python code in these little boxes in here. And when you want to run Python code, you just need to click on this play button in here in the run cell. Now, if you want to insert more coding lines, then you can click in here plus code. If you want to insert more text lines, then you can go in here and plus text. Now, back to the guide. I want you to practice just to rename FP&A Python guide the new notebook. So I'll be doing it as well. So this one I have right now untitled 252, and I'll take that one and I'll paste the FP&A Python guide. For you, you will be starting with something like this. And then again, this will just take you 1 minute. Now, let's go to part 2. Now, in part 2, I just want to walk you through some of the basics of Python. Now, the very first thing is that there are variables in Python. Think like named cells in Excel. So in Excel, you will reference, let's say, A1 for a name reference. In Python, you give it a name. So in this example in here that I am calling revenue, it's equal 100, COGS equals 60. So in this case, I'm giving the name of revenue to the 100 and of COGS, or cost of goods sold, for the 60. And now I want to do gross margin equal revenue minus COGS. And I am printing gross margin. When I'm doing this, then I'll return the result of 40. Let's do this together on our new file. Now, in the new file, in here, then you will paste this code. And again, revenue 100, COGS 60, and gross margin is revenue minus COGS. And I will go and click this button for play, and I'll be expecting to have 40, as you can see here. Now, let's imagine that this one, it will turn into 1000, and then this will still be 60. Then when I play again, this will be 940. Now, let's go back to the guide. The second thing that I want you to understand is that you can create these lists that is basically a row or column of data. So think of it like a single row or column in Excel. In here, I have, let's say, monthly revenue and all of these values. And again, I just do print monthly revenue and I get back the same values. The third one is the dictionaries. Now this one is kind of like an X lookup in Excel. So I'll go ahead and copy this one again to our guide. I'll go to plus code to get the second one, paste it here. And again, I am doing department mapping, 101 sales, 102 marketing, and 103 R&D or research and development. And then if I just do this, and I'll take out that one, then it will run and there will be no result because I'm just basically calling to this dictionary department mapping. Now I go and hit one more for code. And now I want to print department mapping the 101. So I want the value sales. I play and I'll play this one, and I'll be expecting the value sales. Now I'll do a couple more for you to know. And now in case I want 102, then I go ahead and then marketing. And what will happen if I do print department marking 104, which is not in the list? Then it will throw me an error because the 104 is not mapped. In order to fix it, then I can do an enter here, copy this, and then do now 104, and then I can call this accounting. I play this one again, and I forgot this comma here. Yeah. So I play this again, and then in here, if I want to do parent department mapping again, I play, and now it will appear accounting because we're giving the value. So it's similar to in Excel if you have a table that you are doing the VLOOKUP or the XLOOKUP and you don't have the value for what you are looking for, then the formula doesn't work. So it's basically the same thing. Now, let's go to part number 3. So some tools in Python. This one is Pandas. Now, Pandas is a library or a package in Python, and this one creates what is called a data frame. So basically like an Excel table, just a bit faster and more powerful. Now, in order to use Pandas, in order to use this library, first you need to run this code, import pandas as PD. Now I'm going to run that code in here in the new guide, and there will be no result. I'm just getting the pandas library into this environment. And now in here, I'm just creating a P&L mockup in order to get some data. So again, I'll be doing it in the fresh notebook, and I'm doing again the departments, month, budget, actuals, and so on. And the last bit is I want to show the data frame head. Now, in this case, for example, I'm trying to convert this dictionary into a data frame in this part, and I'm calling it VF for data frame. And then again, in here, I'm showing the head. Now, in here, like in Excel, you can already see the data. Now, you could go to this button and convert it into an interactive table. So you can see, for example, how many results you want per page. Now, in this case, we don't have that many. And you can already filter in here. So you can go click, and then let's say budget from 15,000. Yeah, and then until 20,000 only. So it would be this one, these two. And I could also filter again, actual, to department, month, and search by all fields. Now, the second thing that I want to show you is that apart from the interactive table, you can also hit this blue one, and it will suggest you charts for this data. Again, it's very simple data, but then if you want to do, let's say, a bar chart, you can click on this one, add cell, and it will create the Python code in order to create a bar graph. You click on this one, and again, you have the bar graph of department, the actuals by department. Now, this is basically the part number 3. Now, if we go one more, so part number 4, this is for analysis or automation. Now, in here, what I want to show you is a couple of things. Now, there are a lot of times that in FP&A we do variance analysis and aggregation. So for this, you will be doing, let's say, drawing a formula in Excel, but in Python, you can do all at once. So if we do this code in here, I'm basically calculating the variance as value, calculating variance as percentage, and then just generating the new table. With this, in 0 seconds, as you can see here, I have the new table with the variance as dollars and as percentage as well. Now, on top of that, I could create a pivot table in here to group by department. And then again, just with this code, I'll just also copy and paste it here as a new one so that you all can see. I play that one, and again, I'm doing the summary, print summary, and it will create the summary by department. Again, 0 seconds, and it's created in here. Now, I can do also a couple of filters. For example, so if I want just to see marketing department only, then I have this code in here that I'm just grabbing the department that is called marketing, and I'm filtering by that value. Now, next thing would be visualization. Now, this one, I will just skim it because we already did a bar graph, but in here, in the file that I'm sharing with you all, I have one example for a bar chart as well. Now, all of these have been until now with some dummy data. But now, one of the main questions that I always receive is how you can use your own data, your own Excel files. Well, the main thing for you to understand is that with this code in here, you can always use your own dataset. I'll just show you how. So again, in the new Google Colab, you will basically paste that code, and you need to do two things. One is to add your data into the Google Colab environment. Now, how do you do that? In the left, you will go to Files, so in here, then a new window will appear, and in here, you need to click this button in here, the Upload to Session Storage. Now, you click on that button, and then you will be basically uploading to session storage a file. So in this case, I'll just look for this FP&A trend dataset that I have. It's there. And for you, you can use the same Excel file as well. I'll be giving it for you in the description, or you can use your own file. Now, to practice, use this one, and then you will just need to do these 3 little dots, copy path, and replace this path in here. Now, for us right now, it will be the same one because it's the same file that I used in the previous guide that I was creating. But for you, if you want to use another dataset, then basically this will be the new name of your file. Now, when you do this one and then you play that one, then you will basically get the Excel file into Python, into this environment in Google Colab. Now I have it here. And again, I could be doing the interactive table or the charts. But I'll go and go to the executive dashboard. Now, the executive dashboard, basically, I'm trying to create a couple of visualizations for you. Now, the first thing is import libraries. So in this case, we're not going to be using Pandas. We're going to be using matplotlib and Seaborn. So we're importing these two, and we're just setting the visual style to white grid for a clean look. And then I have these different charts in here and some codes to do it. So I'll just copy that and I'll paste it here. Now, in here, imagine how much time will it take you just in Excel to analyze this data and create charts for a presentation. With Python, you can do it in seconds. This exact same code, you just need to play it, and in a matter of seconds, you will see the images in here appearing for all of these visualizations. So right now we have the revenue versus net profit trend, the active customer growth, the customer acquisition cost, and monthly churn rate in just 1 second of running. All of these charts are fully customizable. So if you want different colors, different titles, different x-axis or y-axis, anything, you can also customize. This is just for the demo. I have it in here as well. And one very good graph that I would also recommend is a correlation heat map. Now in here, this heat map shows relationships. So for example, you can answer questions like if the customer acquisition cost, a higher customer acquisition cost, actually lead to more revenue. So if it's red, it will be perfectly correlated, so the variables move together. If it's blue, it's inversely correlated, so one goes up, the other one goes down. And then if it's 0, then there's no correlation. So with this code, again, I'll add it in here in our new guide. Play it, and again, 0 seconds in this case, and it created already the correlation matrix for us of all of the variables that we had, just in less than 1 second. Now, I want to show you also this part number 8, that is YFinance. It's one of my favorite libraries. Now, YFinance is basically to use it for financial data, like for the stock market. Now, I'll copy this one to our new one. It will take a couple of seconds to install this library in this environment, so you know that it finished whenever it stops running. Right now here, for example, it took us 6 seconds. Then I'll go back and just copy this code in here that I have, and I'll explain what it does as well. So in here, I'm importing YFinance as YF, and then in this case, I want to have the S&P 500 and also Salesforce, the stock. I want to get the data from 2022 till 2022, and then from the 1st of January until the 30th of May. I am normalizing the data to start at 100, so like the index 100 for easy comparison, and creating this chart style. Now, I'll play this one, and again, in a matter of seconds, you will see how impressive this chart will be created. So, in just seconds, we have this stock market analysis as well with Python. You can replace any stock tick in here. So if you want to do like Apple or Alphabet, for example, Microsoft as well, you can change it. Now, I have a couple of more examples in here. Machine learning is in here, and then interactive charts. Now, with machine learning, the main thing that you need to know is that you will use it to do predictive analytics. Now, in here, I have this code that we're using, the library scikit-learn or sklearn, that is already built into Google Colab. Now, I can add it again in the new one for you all to see. I'm preparing the inputs. I'm creating this variable, in this case, that I want to predict revenue. I'm training a machine learning model and then predicting the next month. Play it, and then in here, it will show us the predicted revenue for the next month. Now, after that, I want to visualize that forecast. And again, the forecast, it took us 0 seconds, again, to create it. And to visualize it, it will take as well either 2 seconds in this case, and you will end up with this graph having the actual revenue and then the trend line as well. Again, I have in here the full code so that you can use it. Now, the following one that I wanted to show you is Plotly, and that one I'll just have it in here. At first, I'm just importing this library. Then we're creating this interactive line chart for COGS, operating expenses, net profit. Now, the part that is interactive, as I say in here, is that you can hover over, like I'm doing in here, and you can see then the values for each of the lines. Now, on top of that, you can create with this code below a waterfall chart, for example. That again, you can hover over each one of these elements, and then you will be able to see more details about it. Now, I have other examples in here, scenario modeling in here to do best, base, and worst, for example. I have also Monte Carlo simulations. This one is one of my favorite ones as well, that you can create 10,000 random revenue numbers, for example, and doing 10,000 EBITDA scenarios. And I have a bonus for you as well. So you can obviously already use all of the codes that I'm using in here in this tutorial. But if you want to generate new codes, then I suggest you to use my framework to get codes from either ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or Copilot. So you can use this framework that I have in here. And with that, basically, I have a couple of last advices for you. So, like, one advice that I have is that you need to tell AI how your data looks like. Like I'm adding in here. I want to analyze this, my data looks like, and then you add the column names and the first rows of data. Now, if you have some errors, then you can also fix them with AI. You can just copy paste it to the LLM, and then it will help you to improve the code. And with this, I feel that you are ready. So go build something amazing using Python for FP&A. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments.